Hi, welcome to the first episode of Honey4Seasons, which is basically wisdom that is essential for every season of our lives. Today, I want to talk about identity and how God prioritizes identity over instruction. So, if we go to Matthew chapter 3, verse 17, he says, "And lo, a voice from heaven saying, 'This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased.'" If we look at the word beloved, it means dear to the heart. It means to be loved, right? And then pleased means to think well of, to take pleasure in, and to approve of. So God is saying, this is my son who is dear to my heart. And I am so pleased of him. I think well of my son. I take pleasure in him and I approve of him. So he's speaking to Jesus's identity. He's rooting him in the fact that he is loved, right? He's saying, son, I love you. I approve of you already. I'm pleased of you. I take pleasure in you, and you are dear to my heart. And when someone is dear to your heart, you will do anything for them, right? Like your spouse, your children, your family, your friends. If you have someone close to you, dear to you, you want to take care of them in the good time and in the bad times. So how much more God with us? The next verse, which is chapter 4, verse 1, it says, then. So it says, then was Jesus led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. God was literally speaking to his son's identity. This is my son. And suddenly the enemy comes and says, if you are the son, right? He's attacking his identity. He's trying to make him waver. He's trying to make him falter. He says, if you are the Son of God, right, then turn this stone into bread. And if you can't do it, then that means you're not the Son of God, right? But thank God Jesus was like, well, hold up, bro. Verse 4 says, but he answered and says, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. I feel like he was basically just thinking back to before he was led into the wilderness. He said, whoa, hold up. God spoke to me prior to coming here in the wilderness and being tempted by you. I am loved, and he is pleased of me. He approves of me, and I am dear to his heart. So whatever you're trying to do is not going to work with me, right? And so likewise, we should have that same firmness that truly we are loved by God, that this is our identity, right? Can you trust who God says you are versus how you feel about yourself, right? Or are you going to allow the enemy's lies, doubts, deceptions, self-rejection, feelings go over God's acceptance, over God's truths, God's words about you, who God says you are? And so I encourage you, be rooted in God's love. Know that you are dear to him. Know that you are the apple to his eyes. Know that he loves you. And he has so much goodness in store for you. And don't let the enemy deceive you with these things simply because you're going through a trial and tribulation. Thank God, bro. Thank God, even though Jesus was in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights hungry. I don't know about you, but I've been hangry sometimes, okay? Like, I need to eat. But 40 days and 40 nights, imagine that. Like, he did not let his feelings dictate the truth. He stood firm and he said, no, I know what my Father told me, and he loves me. And I'm not going to let this moment dictate the truth, right? So you're loved. And just be rooted in that you are loved by God, by your Father, by your friend, by the lifter of your head, by your wonderful counselor. You are loved. And so, yeah, I pray that this word has blessed you, okay? Be rooted in your identity in God first, and then when God gives you the instruction, you will be bold and you will do great, and you will not falter, you will not waver. You will conquer, because we are more than conquerors in Christ, right? But yeah, I encourage you guys with that. And thanks so much for watching. I can't wait to share more with you guys. And yeah, God bless you, beautiful souls. Love you.